Let's see. All right. Kicked it off. Let's see. Let's make sure it works okay. Looks like we're back. All right. Sorry about that, folks. OBS decided to take a nap. I don't know exactly what Oracle diving in with the first right off the bat. Look at you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, not sure where we left off and when exactly it crashed out. It looks like someone said they were having issues before I noticed OBS just disappear.
Okay, so in general, this is about a spreadsheet. You're saying?
Yeah. I guess I could just start over with that then from the beginning. Yeah, spreadsheet. Someone decided they wanted to look into the stat difference between all the different rarities, grades, and tiers of items. So they went through and collected a spreadsheet of one-handed swords and sorted them by stat budgets. And looking at that that spreadsheet, you can look at the bottom. It kind of plays out almost how you would expect. I would almost hope for a little bit more overlap. So the legendary and epic would both kind of overlap into the next tier above and replace maybe the common and uncommon. But then towards the top of the list, it gets a little bit more chaotic with how everything kind of fits in. You're going to see the lows, medium, or tier 1, 2, and 3. They called them tier low, medium, and high. And then the rarities kind of intermix a lot more. You'll see the easiest one is to look at the grade list, and the adept items definitely jump up a lot farther into the radiant grade. So something neat. It looks like it hasn't gotten a lot of attention on Reddit, but I think that's some pretty exhaustive effort that they went through to gather all that.
That's really neat.
So it's something interesting to look at and to see that, you know, maybe they have to do some more tuning, or maybe it's just because the stat numbers are so low in the initiate tier that it doesn't really play out as interleaved as they wish at the higher radiant grade.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see if that's something that they've properly tuned or if it's just like placeholder still.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to say, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it is basically the first run at using that system, so it's quite possible that it's just really not at all tuned up.
I think the player that did this is, I don't know, I give them so much credit for like system, like putting everything in there, and like I've had thoughts about doing like, oh, what is the most lucrative thing to mine? Like, you know, what sells, and I haven't like actually done that. Anyone actually knows what that is, but like I think it's cool when people actually put their mind to it and create like a system, and like this is beneficial to everyone else because like now we can look at it and be like, I guess there's a flaw between adept and radiant, you're saying? Like there's kind of like is that where I guess we're seeing the problems?
Well, yeah, as far as how well, which is a very subjective term, really, because everyone's going to have kind of a different opinion. I think the majority of the people we had talked to previously about this, before there was the tiers added to the grades, was that you know, the initiate grade, for instance, the epic and legendary should be higher power than the commons and uncommons of the adept tier. And, you know, such like that. Like there should definitely be you need to go for purples or at least blues in the next grade above if you're going to get more powerful than the legendary you spent so much time and effort building.
Yeah.
So it looks like
oh,
go ahead.
I was also going to say, for all the people that are wanting like level 30 and level 50 by now, I think that we need to figure out this stuff first before we worry about like expanding higher levels, because that's going to be even crazier if you imagine it being all the way up to Grandmaster.
Yeah, exactly. Like figure out the low tiers, figure out the small stuff before you start adding the big stuff.
Yeah.
But I will say that it does look like towards the higher end, if you look at the top, say 10 rows, it does look like it's a lot more interspersed. Granted, it's convoluted as far as you trying to figure out what grade, tier, and rarity, you want to save up materials to have someone craft for you. That's going to be more complicated if it stays the way it is, but it'll be more satisfying for those that do spend the time to get just legendary created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to me that the difference between the item levels now is too much disparity. If you introduce level 50, then the low level stuff compared to level 50 stuff is going to be vastly different. I don't know how that's going to affect PvP and corruption, but it seems to me that it's too wide a gap. But I don't know.
It's going to balloon out of control.
Seems like
Yeah. Christopher says, personally, I'd like legendary high tier should be as good as the grade 2 above. I think the common.
The common grade, okay.
Tier 2 grade above, maybe. But yeah, I would like to see that definitely even seep into uncommon or rare, because if you think about it, legendary is supposed to be legendary. It's supposed to be really hard to get. So having that last as long as possible is ideal until you're able to get the next mats for that. The payoff should be the patience and effort put into getting those legendary mats instead of just grabbing the most easy common or uncommon or even rare that you can find. Litz, we're losing you a little bit.
Me?
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like Litz is using Porcini as a pillow. Just the way the camera's lined up.
There we go. I went.
This way is this way.
Yeah.
I went the wrong
way you were
direction.
sitting. It lined up perfectly. It really looked like you were resting your head on the mushroom cap.
I'm sorry. I just happened to be like leaning.
Yeah.
The tavern. You have a few drinks and yeah, you get a little.
There you go.
No,
It's nappy time.
Nappy time.
I'm
indeed.
wide awake. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. I just thought it was a funny statement. And yeah.
Yeah,
it
they
does
were
look that way,
talking
doesn't
about
it?
you almost eating Portini's hat, things like that.
Well, his mushroom hat is quite a delicacy in our community.
Yeah.
Just take small nibbles so it lasts longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You cook it and
exactly.
chop it up and create the oils to put over pasta.
Whoa! Don't touch my hat.
Truffle oil? Question mark.
Truffle oil, yes, it's kind of like that, but extremely rare and has high magical properties.
Oh,
Indeed.
okay.
There's a deep lore in the Fungi Fellowship. If you
Yes,
join us,
yes.
you'll find out what that is.
Till then, it's on a
Family
need to know basis.
Yeah.
Very
Also, you have to be careful of those spore clouds, just saying. Not all spore clouds are nice. Some cause damage.
Those are our difficult children out there in the Vera Plains. Ignore them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some defending the certain estates. And what's the one above? Dargul estates? A lot of mushroom deer on there.
Nice.
Yeah, just ignore them.
But I think we chatted a lot about the community. We wanted to cover everything in exhaustion, but I thought that would be a nice one to end off with is the effort that player Sinaris had put in to create that spreadsheet. I, for one, am not really a spreadsheet person, but the time and effort I can appreciate for sure.
Same here.
But Vertec, do you have any other things that you want to try and chat about?
No, I suppose we could, in theory, go through just the last topic that we really prepared to be able to talk about.
Sure,
Just,
if you really want to.
Okay. I mean, if you don't want to, that's fine.
All you go for it. I can link the post again. I don't want to link the spreadsheet personally, but
Well,
the
no,
post is. Oh,
not that one.
okay.
The Vladis talking about potential for or desire.
No,
to
I'm
see...
talking to Shampoo, who asked if I can link the spreadsheet. love.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Here's the post where that spreadsheet lies.
Vertec, you were saying the potential of a wipe, I think is what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Vladis put out a little bit of a discussion on kind of asking people if they think that there is a need for a full wipe in November prior to the Harbingers update on November 18th, and kind of explaining out why he thinks there should be.
Porcini, you and me, Chibi. I don't know who wants to lead this one.
Guest always.
yeah. I feel like in the spirit of an alpha test, having wipes is a natural process. You can't really be mad at developers for wanting to retest systems that they're trying to refine for the launch of their game. I don't think that's unreasonable by any means. Do I like starting over all the time? Of course not. It's not always fun. I don't want to, get into the competitive grind every single month. It can be tiring. But I mean, that's the point. That's why we're here, right? We're here to test their game.
Right.
If they want to restart and reset because they're trying to work on something, then, that's their prerogative. We should respect that because they know a lot more about the coding and the necessities to make their game excellent for launch than most of us will know, right? At least coming from a layman's point of view, I don't know the intricacies of coding and all that. And they've got a lot more knowledge on the back end about what numbers they need to see and test. And I think that's totally reasonable.
I mean, I'll follow suit with that. And I was going to say the similar thing is, I'm assuming this is a player writing this, right? Vertec that posts this stuff on the forums and stuff. And I think that most players, you want to see longevity. I think longevity is how MMOs exist. I think that like the more permanent you can make it, the better. If we could go this entire phase without wiping is probably the ideal mindset of the developers because they're going to get more information. But I think the idea is that if they have to do it, they'll do it. But wiping it just for the sake of like a large update seems kind of silly. That I would just trust their prerogative on if they think it's worth for the data or not. But otherwise, people create characters. I mean, I have a character in few MMOs that have existed for years, and permanence is more important overall than wiping things. And I think it does really. I think November would be a little too soon for how much that a lot of us have poured into this phase. I think we thought this phase would last a while, and November would be a little short on my end. I think that if you saw a point within the 6-month, half-year mark where everyone was getting kind of bored, then maybe the wipe makes sense. But I don't know about you guys. I'd be pretty upset, and I haven't done as much as other people have. But I'd hate to see my progress just completely wiped out.
Yeah.
But,
not my place.
I would kind of have to say myself that it would be a tough call, mainly just because I don't know what numbers there are actually existing in the user count space, like how many people are logging in and how spread out it is over the time, like the full 24-hour period. But I think a fresh start server would actually make complete sense. Putting in a fresh start, not really nuking the current one, but allowing it to either stay alive or die on its own merit.
Yeah.
But the fresh start, there'd be a ton of people that would go there, especially those who are not in, I should say, some of the guilds that have definitely claimed some power.
Yeah.
In whatever manner they have so far. So there'd be plenty of people who'd maybe like to jump into a fresh start and hope that those big guilds don't follow. But it would also give a chance to restart with if they're going to have another iteration on economy, if they're going to have some fine tuning and stuff on the economy. They've gotten rid of some of the imbalancing bugs that have. Yeah, and I kind of agree, Erwin. Fresh start will be the end of the first server. Everyone will fresh start probably, except for, again, potentially, the large guild alliances that are on there that are currently like warring with each other to deny content. They may stay on there to continue to see who can gain the most control over the whole map, just for that game between them alone. But I think it would open up opportunities to really see how any new economy updates would kind of stand on their own after some things have been fixed.
I agree.
For me, I mean, this is technically our Discord's question of the week. I was intending on chatting about it more so next week, but I guess my initial response would be that I love that people are so tied to their progression. I do. And I think for the people that are complaining or saying, why is there even a PTR if we're not using it? What is the point of the Alpha 2 Shoal and Litharius server if, we're not wiping on it. And I have to say my answer to that is Intrepid is in a very tough spot. You have people that are so tied to their progression that if you even consider wiping for the sake of learning for more information for the devs, they get frustrated, they get upset, they get really irritated by the rollbacks, things like that. It's understandable that these things are frustrating. I completely get it. We're right there with you. Like, yeah, I did a couple of things. I invited somebody to a guild. There was a rollback, and like one of our guildmates lost their legendary flower that they had just picked, or like a scorpion actual mount that they had just gotten instead of the carapace or whatever. But the thing is that a game needs to have the testing phase for it to actually get built, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And if you're not using the Shoal and Lotharia server for that, you need to be using the PTR for that, in my personal opinion. And that is not a critique of Intrepid. That's just my understanding of what a PTR is supposed to be used for. And if it's not going to be done on the Shoal, I would like to see it be done on PTR. At minimum. But yes, there's a lot of people in the community from the feedback that we've already gotten that, wiping right now would cause a lot of people to walk away from Intrepid in the game. And that's because they lost their progression. And to that, I don't know. I'm not tied to my progression. It would suck to have to do it all over again, but I signed up to test an alpha and to give my bug reports and to give my feedback. Not to necessarily play the game. And so, I mean, after the once or twice that something did get wiped, I think I kind of disassociated from my character progression. And I think that's why I've gone a bit more casual with it instead of just hardcore pushing to whatever and burning myself out. Because I totally want to do that. Don't get me wrong. I am waiting eagerly to push as hard as I can into this game. But with the threat or the potential of a wipe happening any moment, a rollback happening any moment, I don't want to push myself like that. That's unhealthy for me, and that's unhealthy for the community if I have a negative viewpoint with that, and then I'm just walking around with this negative viewpoint all the time because that's what happened. That being said, as I mentioned already, it's understandable, in my opinion, that people do have those feelings. I get it. Nobody in a gamer situation likes having their progression ruined or messed with. I mean, there was a totally side tangent. There was a girl who had a r/mi, the a-hole, because she deleted her child's 5-year-long Minecraft world and then realized that she effed up. So she was like, I don't understand, what's the big problem with this? Why is this such a big deal? And people were like, so what you essentially just did was, and she was like, whoops.
Can you imagine having to go to Fiverr and be like, can you please redo this 5 years of work that I just deleted? That'd be great. Can you do it in like a month? Because that'd be even better.
Yeah.
But
No, but there's two sides. You're right. There's the testing and player side, and I think we are testers. So you make a point there. You make a good point, and remind us too that we're testers, and we should have.
That's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
That's why everybody signed up
that more and remember it more. And
I think so.
And that's something Steven has even had the foresight for. I mean, people often forget some of the stuff that he said, but he's like, it's easy to forget that you're testing. It's easy to forget that this is actively in development, and there's going to be wipes. It's gonna suck. I mean, he said embrace the suck more recently, but he also said that he thinks people who buy these $100 packages are not going to understand the full extent at which they're purchasing. They're not going to understand the full extent at which they're testing. And testing is often, while they're going to try and not wipe, often can mean needing a wipe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes
but I lament
it's
as
also
anybody
wipes
else
often.
too. I lament as anybody else too when stuff happens. I get the frustration as well, but I do think it is the spirit of the test.
All right.
Yep.
Well,
Yep. Exactly. Shampoo says, let's be honest. Intrepid says, we're testing while people that play are playing. And it's so hard to not be like, I'm playing Ashes tonight. Because like, I know I'm meaning testing, but it's so easy to forget that you're testing, especially in the format that they've made this test.
There have been a good number of large games with a bunch of money and time behind them that have released in the past couple of years that don't feel as fleshed out as Ashes is now.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's
Also,
crazy to remember that.
Also
True.
remembering that
So
Ashes is only a small shadow of what it will be in the future too. So there's a lot of stuff that's not in Ashes yet too. So it being the small incomplete product is still, you know, better than many other complete products out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough. But I think we've just about covered all the stuff we wanted to talk about today or had on the docket. So, Litz and Porcini, would either of you have anything you would like to say to everyone? Any projects coming up? Any guild recruitment stuff? Personal promos for personal channels? Whatever you got going on? Please do feel free to share.
I do stream live on Twitch, and I do post Dungeons and Dragons episodes on YouTube. My D&D campaign is called Doors to Divinity. It's a generational campaign that follows two sets of characters that have currently just joined together to fight some pretty interesting villains in their multiverse. As far as Fungi Fellowship goes and Ashes of Creation, we are recruiting on referral basis only. So if you see fungi in Vera and you happen to meet them and you get a referral, feel free to join my Discord and you can go ahead and apply.
You know, we operate much in the same way. I love that. Cheers. Thank you,
Cheers.
Peoria.
Praise the madcap.
Praise the madcap.
Praise the madcap.
All right, so you have your YouTube channel here. Do you and your TikTok, do you do anything?
Look, I don't want to make this like a me thing because this is an Ashes of Creation community, but if anyone who knows me as a player or is just interested in indie developers, I am someone that's aspiring to make video games myself. I've been doing it for a few years now. I'm not very good at it. I'm growing as a developer and my next game is going to be about running a bookshop. So if anyone loves like reading and wants to run their own bookshop, message me or check out the channel and stuff if you'd like. It's a huge work in progress, so nothing crazy or special. But on an Ashes of Creation standpoint, if you see me in game or you want to like embrace the RP side of things, whether you've joined the RP Discord for AOC or you just want to hang out in game with me, I'm so into that. If you see Litz in the world, 95% of the time I'm just gonna speak in character to you anyway, unless you come up and just kill me. So anyone wants to troll me, I guess just come do it anyway. But
Yeah.
otherwise, hope that there's some people out here that actually just want that, and the more people that message me and want the immersion factor in AOC, I'm more down to be inspired to like kind of create that for people and have like a
Can I just
Yeah.
add on to that real quick? Because he's being very modest. Litz has made a game on Steam called Fungi Fantastico. It is an awesome first-person platform.
It's
It's
okay.
all about mushrooms. It's very cool, and people should check it out. So I really
Awesome.
enjoyed playing the game myself.
I think
Great
I'm really afraid of the feedback that Porcini might be bringing now. So I don't know.
Oh man.
I enjoyed the game, Litz.
When
So
players
I'm
will
gonna
play and find all the
promote for
bugs,
you.
then I'll have to go back to it and fix everything. But okay. No,
Oh,
seriously,
no.
that was
What
I
was
did
it?
pour a lot of my heart and soul into that. So if anyone wants to check it out,
What was it?
Fungi Fellowship
what?
is actually when we and Porcini met. I was like, hey, I'm making a game about mushrooms and I love fungi stuff. And that is
Nice.
how we connected
Hey.
together in AOC.
That
so
works.
What was the name of the game again?
I was gonna say Fungi Fellowship. Fungi Fantastico. It's on Steam. It's
Fantastic.
I know. I'm like, there's
Okay.
like they're bled together in my head now. Like Fungi Fellowship and Fungi Fantastico are two.
It's
Like,
funny. It's funny you say that you met with fungi in a guild name Catching Attention, because at one point I had a guild in World of Warcraft, and literally running through town bumped into some other guild that had the same exactly, like the same
Tavern.
color scheme and everything for
Yeah,
the Tavern. Like color
Yeah.
scheme, design, everything was exactly the same. And it's because we both lived around the Maryland area, so it was like it was a big crab, or it was the lobster because we
crab
weren't any
cakes.
actual crabs.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
And we ended up basically
Well, I
combining
love crab
guilds
cakes, by the
because of
way.
that.
So you're hitting the spot in my heart and my
Nice,
stomach.
nice.
That's awesome.
But,
Just wanted to say thank you to Chibi and Vertec for hosting
Yeah,
us on the
both
Golden
of
Feather
you.
Tavern.
Of
Very kind of
course.
you guys, and look forward to seeing all of you guys in Vera.
As mushroom people, we are very crazy.
the, you
But
know,
thank
it's the
you for
spores,
having
they
us.
go to your head.
Right.
No,
Chibi,
thank
did you have anything you wanted to say?
I wanted to say that you guys can join us. We're actually starting to branch out, and we have 2 new YouTube channels. And I know that's crazy, but one of them I was already working on, and the other one we just decided to do recently. We have TGF Tavern IRP for I roleplay or in roleplay instead of in real life. And then we have TGF Tavern Adventures for our indie game adventures or out of game adventures. So that's where we'll be posting our hangouts at PAX. That's we'll be posting my Cozy Quest on Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. And the IRP is going to have my Tales of Fablecraft, which is a very much hour-and-a-half long version of D&D, if you will, with its own platform and everything, its own systems. So we fit it in when we can over here. Yeah, it's like cozy D&D. We really love TTRPGs. I came from a background of running not only Pathfinder, but also Dungeons and Dragons. And so I needed to find some way of shoving that into our schedule. But we are starting to branch out a little bit, and it's been very fun.
The TGF Tavern Adventures is also going to be where I'll be putting all the mead stuff. I'm going to start when I get the mead stuff kicked back off.
Yes. Which thank you guys so much to those that have donated. We I think are 90 out of 250 for our first goal to get Vertec his needs for getting mead going. So
Yes,
this is the first of a few, but we're currently, to put it in roleplay perspective, we're currently gathering herbs for the mead.
we are. Right.
So
Well then, thank you so very much, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for hanging out here. Thank you, Porcini and Litz, for joining us. A great conversation.
yes.
Cheers.
Folks are always welcome back.
Cheers.
If you're looking for random chats on Tuesdays, we have our Tavern Talk Tuesdays, which is basically open mic night. Swing on into the Discord and hop on in, and we'll drag you down. We'll drag you down in and just have open talk. We sometimes get a rowdy group of up to 8 people there, just chatting like a night at the tavern.
Nice.
Yeah. We're going to raid over to Dusty.
Gonna raid over Dusty. It's been a hot minute. Usually we try to pick people that have a lower view count, but don't want to always avoid Dusty just because he has like a gajillion people watching him. We should support him as well. So we're gonna hop over there, show him some love. Hope you guys will join us. But either way, as always, your most valuable currency is your time. You get it once, you spend it once, it is gone. We could not give you a refund if we wanted to, so sorry about that. And you know, we may not.
But you can have a receipt.
Yeah, may not get refunds, but you can have the receipt. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.